Welcome at the RME booth on the Frankfurt Musikmesse. Matthias Carstens from RME. I will talk a little about the latest baby, the Babyface Pro. Babyface Pro, from the name, it's the successor of the Babyface, but basically it's a completely re-engineered unit. Nothing is the same as before. It's all improved, made better, made more flexible, more choices, a lot more electronics inside, several upgrades. So what you see here already is very nice. It's a pity you can't have it in your own hand because you would feel it, the solid professional value that you get here. This housing is machined from a block of aluminum. On the back we have a thread, so you can mount it on a microphone stand if you like. We use this here for demonstration, just on this self-made stand. The unit has a new construction on the back, no breakout cable anymore. The channels 1, 2, in and out are balanced XLR. The XLRs are integrated into the housing, very special construction. We deliver 19 dBu professional level on these. We now have 4 inputs, 2 more here on the side. These are TS jacks, high impedance. You can connect anything, line up to 13 dBu or your guitar, bass, keyboard, another stereo in. So 4 channels analog in. With the ADAT on this side, the usual 8 digital or 2 with SPDIF, up to 190 kHz working. Here you see also the MIDI breakout connector. It's just one MIDI I/O on a breakout cable that is included. This is a lockable DC connector if you want to use the unit standalone, which works very good because of the easy operating surface that we have now. It's no problem to do it. And also included this 90-degree angled USB cable that firmly fits into the housing. It's a special construction, but every standard USB cable will work too. So coming back to this side, you see the high quality line outputs that we have as phones at this time. I just have to mention that because this morning I read somebody didn't understand that our phones outputs are high quality line outputs since we have RME. It's always been like that, so no degradation in specs, but they are optimized for phones because they have a lower output impedance. So in this case we optimized it even more. The small one has an output impedance, an internal output impedance of only 2 ohms. So it suits very well for typical modern smartphone or in-ear phones that start with 16 ohm impedance. The bigger one is more for the older types of cans, let's say about 60 ohms up. Internal impedance is 10 ohms, and it also provides 6 dB more output level because usually the higher impedance phones are less sensitive. The signal that arrives here is the same, that is channel 3-4. Analog out. You cannot change the level of these independently, but this is not necessary. But you have separated drivers, that means you can really plug in 2 headphones, same signal, but 2 headphones without degrading quality between them. The operating surface here now has 4 level meters and 4 buttons, which are clearly labeled and easily operate the unit. It's just like here, you just switch between the outputs and just change the output level. You can see there's an over LED integrated, so if I have an overload on channels 1, 2 and I adjust levels 3, 4, I still see that there's an overload going on in the other channel. You can also push this button to adjust the balance, left, right of your output. Then at the input side, you set the gains. So 1, 2 would be the microphone gain. You just push the input button and select with the select key, just adjusting the left channel, right channel, or both channels. You see also that we show the audio level and the gain at the same time. That means if you have music coming in and you raise the gain, you will also see as soon as you reach the overload area. So now comes the fun part. We have an input signal at 1, 2, and we are listening at channel 1, 2 output, and we want to hear that signal. We can now do this directly at the unit by pushing the mix button. At that moment, I adjust the monitoring. from 1.2 to 1.2. So if I want to have monitoring from 1.2 to 3.4, I just change the out, push the mix button, and rise the monitoring mix again. It's very easy to operate. There's a simple logic in it with all the functions. In most cases, you will not need a menu.
So it seems you've done a lot of work on the ergonomics to fit a lot of functionality into a small unit.
That's exactly the case. We re-engineered everything, and we put in 30% more components than before, plus 100% more intelligence into the FPGA that we program ourselves. The ADDA converters are new, the filters are new, the whole circuit design is new, and this is all top-notch. It's really the latest state of development. You get top-notch quality from RME here. That's also why the unit in the European area is a little bit more expensive than before. But I think for the quality you get here, it's still cheap.
Well, while we're talking about price, what is the price?
Price will be 749 euros. Manufacturer suggested retail price. I think the street price will be a little bit low then.
And availability, while we're on that kind of subject?
We hope end of June. We hope end of June. So this unit still runs on all the operating system like the old Babyface. We have the Windows drivers, Mac drivers, and of course you can switch it to class compliant mode, so it will work with the iPad perfectly.
Knew what I was going to ask you, didn't you? Actually, the last question is about USB. How come you didn't go to USB 3?
That would be just wasting money. USB 3 is more expensive than USB 2, and it's not needed. We have units like the Babyface USB over there, this one. This one transfers 64 channels in and out at the same time over USB 2. And the Babyface XT, if you set it to USB 2 mode, transfers about 70 channels. So the point is that some people, I think, are confused with the bandwidth that you get with USB 3 with the latency. The latency will not change at all. So you cannot get lower latency with USB 3. You only get more channels, and more channels we don't need. These are just ridiculous 12 channels in and out. Even 192 kilohertz works perfectly. There's no need for USB 3. It would cost you, the customer, just money.